guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Saturday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap and happy Saturday, guys. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. In this recording, I want to speak about attracting kingdom, all caps, kingdom wealth. Now, I stress kingdom, right? Because there's different rules. There's rules to this thing. Like how we move in our own life when it comes down to, let's say, business or things like that. And there's nothing wrong, right, with attracting or accumulating wealth based on our own goals, dreams, and desires. There's nothing wrong with that. The fact is, they're just different rules. For example, that can be, you can move shiesty, you can have a lack of character in your business, right? But when it comes down to spiritual blessings, you will be monitored like a hawk. Literally, like a hawk. So God is required to sustain and maintain kingdom wealth because they're used for kingdom missions, kingdom purposes. So as chosen ones, obviously we're vessels, right? So God uses us differently. Everyone is called to different things, but many chosen people are literally called to kingdom wealth, especially now. If you know, you know. You see the fault. Like, listen, everything that's going on in the world, especially with these folks just in Hollywood, things like that. Like, listen, that wealth is falling. It has to go somewhere. The question is, are we in alignment to receive it? All right. So I don't know, I think 8. I think 8 things. Guys, just please work with me with these numbers. You guys already know I'm going to lose count. That I want to speak on in regards to the chosen ones attracting kingdom wealth right now, and the importance of staying, all caps, staying tapped in. Now, quick disclaimer: when I speak about attracting, or I just want to be clear. Right? Because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm trying to like shade whatever they believe, because I'm not that girl. I'm not that chick. I've always, all caps, always been great at staying in my own lane. I don't swerve in nobody else's lane, honey. I ain't got time. I'm too busy for it, right? When I speak about attracting, I'm speaking specifically about being in proper alignment to receive the manifestations from God. Simple. So, first and foremost, again, chosen ones, right? Number one, we have to be moving in purpose and calling. I'm not speaking about our jobs. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. So please understand, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong. Some people, purpose is even tied to their jobs. Mine is sometimes, a lot of the times, but you can, never mind. But God is using us in purpose and calling. So we're not speaking about career. Okay, so we're tapped into purpose and calling, number one. Number two, we're in proper alignment with purpose and calling. Because we can answer the call all we want. I mean, you heard the call. You answered, God, okay, use me in purpose. But are we in alignment to be used in purpose? We have to be in alignment, right? But instead, if we're being disobedient, things like that, we're not even in alignment. So we're going to be stuck. Number 3, God will give you some kind of witty idea, intervention. Now, I want to be clear. Now, this is a process of a process. All this stuff is a whole process, right? When you put it all together in a recording or something like that, it makes it seem like it's, for many people, honey, this is years and years and years of a process, right? You go from level to level, from glory to glory, right? All right. So number 3, again, he will give you some kind of witty idea, intervention. Now, what I'm speaking about right now is more of lower levels. Right? Kind of like when we first answered the call, not where most of us currently are, which is in due season, destiny moments, things like that. I'm speaking about when we first answer the call. God will give you some kind of witty idea, intervention. There's different reasons for this, but one reason is that he won't have you sacrificing and struggling in your own personal life when he needs to use you with purpose and calling. So for example, that can look like something like, I don't know, you have a 9 to 5 at, I don't know, your local Shell gas station. Okay. But yet there's a purpose and a call in your life to feed the homeless. Well, if you're working at a gas station 9 to 5, I mean, how much extra money do you really have? Right. And you sure can't steal the food out the gas station to feed the homeless. Make it make sense. No. So he, so he's going to give you some kind of witty idea and invention. An example can look like, maybe you're great at like knitting and crocheting, right? But you just do it for something fun and leisure. Truly, you love to do it. Well, he'll give you some kind of seed form. I want you to start listing that on Etsy, right? Some kind of seed form where it's going to make money, and that extra money is going to be used for purpose of calling, where it's not even touching your household. So he's not going to have you struggling as he used you with purpose and calling. So he gives you some kind of witty idea and invention, and even when you start to climb the levels, it will grow and grow and grow and grow. So now that knitting and that crochet hat or whatever you done crochet, honey, it then went from Etsy now to a whole nother business. So now when you climb, right, you're not helping 5 homeless people. The next level, you're helping 10. The next level, you're helping 15. So you see how you attract. It depends on us and how far we are willing to evolve. You attract more. You attract at the level, at your current level. So you're helping 5. You're going to attract enough to help 5 people. You're helping 50. He's going to now grow it and make sure you can attract enough for 50. And then so on and so on and so on and so on. And then you get blessed in the process. Right? Next. Covenants and sacrifice. Listen. This is so very true. Early on, there's going to be some kind of covenant that you make with God, some kind of sacrifice. Remember, you're chosen. So there's a great chance that you have to go against the grain of many things that either could have been generational conditioning, generational curses, things like that. But it's going to be some kind of covenant that you make with God. Once you answer that call, you're in alignment, right? So now you're hearing from God, things like that. An example, let's see what pops up. When I say covenant, it can be something like, okay. So God says he's going to use you in ministry, right? You're a guy, just for example. And every man that you've ever known, including your father, grandfather, uncles, everyone have outside children, right? They all have outside children. They all have cheated on their wife. This is all you've ever seen. There's a great chance he tapped many of them, but they didn't answer the call. For whatever reason, you answer the call. So now you answer the call. God says to you, okay, listen, I know you've seen all this, but there's no way in the world I can make you a millionaire. I can make you I can take you higher in ministry where the covenant between me and you is as difficult as it's going to be. Even if it takes 95 years for me to help you, you can never have an outside child. You can never cheat on your wife. As a matter of fact, don't even get married right now. Because if you get married, those demons are too strong. It's in the bloodline. So I'm going to need you to stay single. Even if you don't find your first wife until you're 87, sir. Right? I have to work on you within this process first. Because that's how strong those demons are. And of course, that's not everybody's story, right? Some people may only need a year, right? Just depends, right? But it's a covenant that you make with God, and it's going to somehow be attached to your purpose. Because if you don't make that covenant and you agree to it, and he releases you, right? And give you the ministry and give you the $1 million, what are you going to do, sir? You're going to have kids with every secretary you work there. Honey, you're going to make a fool of yourself. And listen, so there's some kind of covenant. Like I'll be transparent with you guys, because a lot of people have asked me, Kizzy, you have women out here who like are desperate for marriage, and here you can turn down proposals. Transparent moment. Transparent moment. I knew from a very, very young age, even when it didn't all like kind of, you know how God kind of give you bits and pieces of things before you really understand what he's doing fully in your life. I knew that the man who is for me, right, it has to be, all caps, has to be aligned with purpose and calling. Because the way God uses some chosen people, it's going to take another chosen person to really understand and get on board with certain things. Men and women. Like, if you, okay, let's take, for example, God uses a man who was called to ministry in, I don't know, is missionary work, but then there's like more women than men that he has to help. It takes a certain kind of woman to deal with that. It's going to take a confident woman. It's going to take a woman of God who can tap into that spiritual realm, not to be insecure about. Listen. It takes a certain kind of person who is, as a matter of fact, yesterday, Pastor R.C. Blake posted on his community page. Oh my goodness, I forgot how it was worded, but it was in relations to women not being desperate for marriage and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I commented on that post myself, and I was surprised that other women actually agree. Like, listen, of course, there's exception to the rules, but at the end of the day, what Hollywood and what society has tried to base marriage around for all these years is one of the reasons why most people who are married, they're unhappy, they're miserable. It was never aligned. When it comes down to chosen people, there is a specific person that is designed and ordained for your life. And a lot of the times that may come later on, because we need to really be in purpose and calling. As chosen people, we're really required to be breaking a lot of things and shifting and moving some things. And if you have the wrong man, the wrong woman in your life, who can't tap into that spiritual realm to understand how this thing is navigated, they're going to screw up your whole purpose and your calling. So, sir, I don't care how fine you is. I don't care how much money you got, sir. You're going to have to go to the Lord about me. Because, see, God's going to have to show you how to deal with me. Period. Right? So you can't be desperate. This is why it's so crucial to be tapped into purpose and calling, because purpose and calling alone fulfills you. So that emptiness that people feel, they keep thinking like it's going to be a person that heals this emptiness. Absolutely not. A person is not designed to fill the void. No, that's purpose and calling. That's God. Any person that comes into your life should be I can't even get up off of this. I don't even know who this is for. But a person that comes into your life should be an addition, not a completion. So some of you women need to stop running around out here saying things like, oh, women are lying when they say that they don't need a man. They don't. That's you, sis. That's you. Many women are whole. They're tapped in. So they have choices. They don't have to accept the first thing just because. Absolutely not. Period. So sacrifice. I went all the way when it comes to sacrificing. So anyway, that can look like one form of sacrifice, but there can be no sacrifice. I'm sorry, covenant. Covenant and sacrifices. But more leaning towards sacrifices, there's going to be times where God asks you to do certain things. And truth of the matter is, it's going to be beneficial, yes, to help other people in whatever way he's asking you to sacrifice. But a lot of that is going to be based on the fact how much you are willing to give him, to trust him, right? Because if he's asking you to sacrifice it could be a relationship. He's telling you, listen, you're idolizing this man. You're idolizing this man. So give it up. Because you can never really get closer to me because you made this man your God, right? So a lot of it, he's going to really see how serious you are. Like, what comes before him. If it comes before him, honey, he's going to snatch it. Sacrifice. Next, here's another thing. If you're called to kingdom wealth, money is not going to phase you for different reasons. Now, keep in mind, we're speaking levels. At the beginning, it is going to phase you. In fact, you may lose your mind, and it's going to be a way that God tests you. So he may allow you to come into a little bit of money. I don't know. You could have gotten into a car accident or whatever. He's gonna train you and test you. So he's gonna let you lose your mind and act like a fool, right? You're probably gonna go to the strip club, blow it all, bro. You might go and go. I don't know, sis. You fly to Paris and now you done spent your whole 10,000 on some bags or whatever. Like he's gonna let you make a fool of yourself by giving it to you, right? Just to lose it all. Because he's teaching you how to be humble. He's teaching you that you can have it today and lose it tomorrow. He's teaching you to be detached from that stuff, right? So at the beginning, you may make a straight fool of yourself, but it's all designed to teach you. So as you go further up, honey, money don't phase you. This is why a man can be sir, you sitting here telling me about all this money, but I already know you can lose it tomorrow, literally. So it doesn't even phase you like that, right? So when he called you to do certain things and he called you to sacrifice certain things, you don't mind doing it, right? Because first and foremost, it's his. But he's going to train you within that process, because there's no way in the world, once you reach destiny moments and he's going to be blessing you with millions and millions of dollars, and you're going to have to be like, there's no way in the world. So by the time you get to destiny moments, you're already detached from the worldly stuff, the mindset. Like that money stuff don't even move you. Literally, it doesn't even move you. Literally. Next, I think this speaking character. So all that's going to work on character in general. Because again, there's no way in the world God can bless us with God ordained blessings, kingdom sized blessings when our character is faulty. Listen, I promise you. And again, all of this is a process, right? So be gentle with yourself if you're just starting out and you still have shiesty character flaws, because now on this moment, you're going to stay there. You're not going any higher. Right? You're not going any higher. So the wise thing to do is to pay attention to the areas that he's convicting you on, because truth of the matter is, you may not even realize that it's a character flaw, because maybe you were raised that way. Everyone you grew up with, they robbed Peter to pay Paul, right? They manipulated, they scammed. That's how everyone got over. They scam people, they manipulated. Okay, so that's the way you were raised. It's not your fault. But it is our responsibility as adults to pay attention to our convictions, to understand when God is trying to really work on the area. And he'll make it clear to you. Like, this is an area. Why you think you can't come from this level? Why do you think when you come up a little bit on this level, you end up going backwards? There's something in your character that has to change. Will it change overnight? Maybe, maybe not, right? But the lesson is it's school. It's school. So you can get away with certain things at lower levels. But once you start climbing level, God watches you like a hawk. But the beautiful thing is, a lot of the things you won't know, so he will allow the Holy Spirit to guide and teach you. And then he will also send you people to help you, right? But would you listen to the help? Many people reject the help because they're stuck in their ways, and that's why they're stuck at their level. But when you get to certain levels, especially if you're going to be used for kingdom currency, God will watch you like a hawk. And I'm speaking pennies. Pennies. If God can't trust you, he will not use you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. And I mean a hawk. So please, if he's testing you now, like with small things, An example can be you went to the grocery store and you didn't even look at the money when they gave you the money when you left out. But those people gave you $1 extra. You get to your car that's probably 5 miles away and you get a conviction. Take that $1 back. Honey, you're 5 miles away. It's hot outside. You're tired. You just got off from work. Honey, the enemy is going to tell you, oh, look at God. God done bless you with the extra dollar. Honey, if you don't get up out of that car and take that money, that $1 back in that, I promise you, it's going to be small things like that. He's teaching you. He's teaching us. Truly. Next. I don't even know what number. I know I have a couple of them more. I don't even know what number I'm on right now. Whatever number. Listen. Okay. The higher you go, the more intense the attacks are, right? Our attacks at level 1 will not be the same at level 10. Now, there can be 1,000 levels, but the point is, right? But the higher you go, the more intense those attacks are going to be. But there's going to come an attack, especially when you're close to destiny moments, an attack that's going to drop you. This can look like heartbreak. This can look like divorce. This can look like grief. This can look like job loss, and not just any job loss, right? You've been on the job 30 years and you're now 85, right? It's going to be some kind of attack that's going to drop you to your core, because the enemy is going to try to do everything to prevent you from reaching destiny moments, right? The key is take your time, grieve, like, because you got to use wisdom here, right? Because you don't want to try to get up too early, if you will. But the point is, you got to get back up. A lot of people, when they take a certain type of hit, they don't get back up. Many people turn to drugs and etc., like depression, like mind done slip, like honestly, mind done slip. So, and they'll never reach that moment. So there's a grace, no matter how difficult that attack is, you got to get back up. When you feel that grace, at some point, you're going to hear the Holy Spirit say, okay, now is the time, right? You took a year with this broken heart, right? I've been here with you the whole time. I know it's not going to be easy, but now it's time. Just take the first step. Just take the first step. If you take the first step, maybe it's too much for you. I don't even know who this is for, but this is in my spirit. Maybe it's too much for you to remain in that same city, because everywhere that you go is memories of this man, because I don't know, maybe it's a small town, and so every woman you see is the woman he cheated with. So I don't know. God may say, okay, listen, I need you to relocate for whatever reason. Just take the first step. Apply for the job, right? Just drive to the city to get a feel of it. Like, just take the first step. But you must get back up from the major attack. I think the last two... Relationships is currency. Relationships are currency. Now, the wrong people in your life can be very detrimental and cause you to miss your entire destiny, truly. Especially when God have been clear. Maybe God said, listen, you know this person is a narcissist. It can be your own family, honey. It can be a whole ex. It can be whatever. Relationships can be detrimental to your destiny. When it's obedience over emotions. Don't ask no questions. It's obedience over emotions. When God have made it clear that a certain persons can no longer be in your life and they just can't go, even if it breaks your little heart, it's obedience over emotions. Being chosen is a very, very, very lonely path, because a lot of people will fall off, especially the higher you go. But don't worry, they will be replaced with the soul tribe. right? You just have to trust the process. As Pastor R.C. Blakes would say, it's not lonely at the top, it's lonely in between levels. And it's so true. It's lonely in between levels because each level someone else's fall off unless they're ordained to be on this whole journey with you. Then some of them do stay, right, long term. But a lot will fall off. The right relationships, you will attract. This is the whole thing. You used to hear people say, I know I used to hear people say it long ago. You hear people say things like, you don't chase money, or you don't chase wealth. It runs away from you. I know I've heard people say that like in the past. It's true. Why do you think scammers, they get money, right, from scamming, manipulating, but they stay broke, right? You get it and you get the high and you really think like you came up, but 3 months later you lose it all, right? 1 year you done scammed 30,000 people in 1 year. The next year you get in some kind of accident or something where you lose it all, right? So because you're chasing it. First of all, you're grimy, right? So you got to reap what you sow, but you don't chase anything. The key is leveling up. The key is allowing God to grow you up, right? Character, value, etc., etc. Then you attract at the level you currently are. So if you're at level 1, you're going to attract level 1 blessings. If you're at level 10, you're going to attract level 10 blessings. If you're in destiny season, you're going to attract destiny people in destiny-sized wealth. So it's all about Pastor Joshua Selman, who I discovered. I don't even think it's been a year yet, but my God, such a powerful, powerful, powerful man of God. But he was just speaking on that just the other day. And it's so true. Like, it's like the key is not to try to chase blessings or chase wealth. You're doing yourself a disservice. It's about increasing your value. Because when you increase your value by putting the work in, right? And most times that happens in solitude, in isolation, in what do you call it? Like when God kind of have you like kind of in a cocoon and like really transforming you, and like all that stuff happens behind the scenes. This is why you may not see somebody for a couple of years, and then when you see them again, it's like boom, like that person has leveled up because they've been putting that work in behind the scenes. Like Pastor R.C. Blakes would say, I had my head down doing my work. While you were playing, I had my head down doing my work. You ain't see me, right? I had my head down doing my work. So now that you put that work in, you're now attracting things at your level. You don't chase, as a chosen one, you don't chase nothing. You don't chase relationships. You don't chase money. You chase God. You chase purpose, and everything will find you. Why do you think the chosen ones are hated so much? When we walk in rooms, look at everybody. That don't you attract, you attract the haters, but you also attract everyone in that room. And then they're looking at you side out like, who do you think you are? Honey, you girl, please don't harass my nerves, right? Because I ain't thinking about you, and I'm honestly not even thinking about nobody in this room. I'm just me, period, right? You attract. Focus. I can't get up off this. Sisters, please focus on you. Stop worrying about men, right? God will send. You will attract. I don't understand. Women, not all women, but they say things like, where's all the men? There's no men out here. Men, child, oh my, I don't get it. I don't get it because men are everywhere. You would have to beat men off of you, literally, when you level up, because energy is powerful, right? The spirit realm is powerful. So people can feel your energy. So if you have a desperate energy, if you have an energy of lack, right? Like I need, that's a turnoff. It's a turnoff when you have so when you level up and you come across as, even if I want you, I don't need you. Like, I got choices. I'm chosen. As a chosen person, we don't chase, we attract. We got choices. So you screw up one time, you're gone. You'll be replaced tomorrow. It's that mindset. It's not about cockiness. It's about knowing what you carry. But you got to put that work in, right? You got to put that work in. You attract, you don't chase. And when it's time to release, you release and keep it moving. You got to put that work in, sis. You got to put that work in. When you put that work in, you will even realize the value of your pool will change. The value of your pool of men will change. Go through a healing season, right? Let it be addressing childhood trauma wounds. Let it be recovery from that narc, that toxic marriage. If my brothers too, but get them where you fit in, right? That toxic marriage. Sit in a single season. Stop hopping from relationship to relationship when you know you're still broken, right? Sit, ask God for grace to sit in a single healing season. There's no way in the world God can introduce purpose in your life, not at a certain level, or not in its entirety, because purpose is, it grows and grows and expand. But there's no way God can use you in a certain magnitude when it comes to purpose and calling when you're broken. When it comes to purpose, you have to be whole. You have to be whole. Not perfect. We ain't that cute, boo, right? You have to be whole. So if you're jumping from relationship to relationship, where's the wholeness? You didn't even have time to heal. So once you go through a healing season, right? Even if it takes years, once you go through a healing season, when you come up out of that, you now know who you are. You know what you carry. You're tapping in your purpose and your calling. So now God can then now send the man that's ordained for your life so you guys can do purpose together. So the wrong relationships can be very detrimental and cause you to miss your purpose. And the right ones will accelerate you. Speaking really quickly about relationships, chosen ones already know this. When it comes down to God-ordained relationships, meaning you know that God has sent someone in your life, and for whatever reason, for whatever they bring, right? God have brought them into your life. If you really, really, really want to shift to some levels, if you really, really, really want some doors to open, honor is one of the major keys. Respect and honor the people that God have ordained in whatever way for your life. Honor is a currency all by itself. When you respect and honor people that God have placed in your life, you will never have to want for anything when it comes to these people. Like, there's somebody popping up to my mind right now who God connected us several years ago, and she's one of the most grateful person and I'm not speaking about grateful just in words, saying I'm grateful. Absolutely not. Because as a chosen one, you're spiritually sensitive. So you know when somebody is just saying thank you or I'm grateful, and they really just use words just to say it because it sounds good. But then you know these people that I'm talking about, honey, they're grateful. Their actions show it. They're grateful. But the way she honors me, right? Through gratitude, through respect, through just, child, if I had $1 billion, she would have access to it. I'm exaggerating, but you get the point here, right? Honor and respect is crucial. When you meet God-ordained people that's in your life, Honor and respect is a currency by itself. If God ever sends a person to you and you fumble them, God now, we're not speaking about a relationship you went and seek for yourself. Sent. God sent. God could, all these people in the world, God could have sent you anywhere else, but he connected you with a God-ordained chosen person. If you fumble that, there's a great chance you can even fumble your entire destiny. Honor is crucial. All right, last one. Ordained timing and helpers. So at the end of the day, if we're going to be transparent, I think one of the most difficult, I'll speak for myself, one of the most difficult things is waiting on God. Oh my goodness. Especially if you're a visionary. It is the most difficult thing when you can see something clear as day. God have said it. He's promised you. You feel it all in your spirit, but you still can't tangibly touch it yet. So no matter how much work we put in, no matter how much we're tired of being in a still season, no matter how much we're tired of being in track, if it's not God ordained timing, it's just not going to work. There's Kairos moment. Speaking of that, because the chosen one is so sensitive, spiritually sensitive, we already know the importance of shifting and moving, and I mean moving quickly when it comes to certain seasons. Certain seasons like Kairos moment, like many of us are in now. Many of us right now are in a Kairos moment where things is accelerating in the spiritual realm. You got to listen. This the kind of season here, honey, if you're going to cut your own daddy off because he's a distraction, these are the kind of seasons where you're going to have to drop every single thing that God tells you to drop, and you got to be obedient to every single last one of your instructions, no matter if it seems very overwhelming. You got to move. Kairos moments, you have to be in alignment, because it's now God's ordained timing for certain things. And of course that happens more than one time because there's different shifts and then there's different Kairos moments, etc., etc. Right now I'm speaking about destiny moments. Many chosen people who have really put that work in and stayed the course, you are in destiny moments and destiny seasons right now. And this is why maybe last year it was a very still season in the spiritual realm. You feel like God went silent on you, but now you can feel it spiritually. Things are accelerating. Even if you don't have instructions yet, your spirit feels ignited, especially those of you, many of us, who just came out of a season of exhaustion and we couldn't understand why things were so heavy and it felt like depression, and it wasn't depression, but I'm just tired, I'm exhausted. Like many of us came out of that season because the shifting in the spiritual realm was heavy because there was so much going on. But now you're now discovering all of a sudden you're starting to get energy again, right? You're starting to get energy. You're starting to feel it's go time again. You got to know how to shift and move with those seasons. So God ordains timing, and then of course, again, he's going to send helpers. It still ties in with the fact that we don't chase, we attract. So if you're called to kingdom wealth, right, he's going to send helpers to help you in different ways, right? Some of these helpers will open doors for you. So you may have an instruction, something like, this particular ministry person is going to go through some kind of attack, right? Because they're being elevated too. They're going to go through some kind of attack where the enemy is going to attack their finances. That can look like some type of scandal, something like that, where they lose it all, right? But God then gave you the vision long ago. He may not say who it was or how it's going to look. And he may say, I need you as a kingdom financier. Okay, I've already given you $1 trillion. So I'm going to need you to go and make sure they're straight. I'm going to need you to go and build this ministry back up. I'm going to need you to go and buy them a new building. Just saying, for example. Well, you're going to need people to do that. Because if this is a certain kind of man, you just can't run up on him, right? You're going to have certain people to open certain doors, right? Even as a destiny helper, you're going to need another destiny helper, right? So it's going to all be connected. God's going to send. He's going to send people. And when he sends people, that's a form of attracting. You're not running people down. You are attracting people. So, you guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.